Welcome to Kretus Academy Urethane Polymer Concrete. This video will explore the Kretus Urethane Polymer Concrete product line, or UPC. It will give you the information necessary to choose the perfect UPC coating for your needs, help you to plan, prep, and apply the coating successfully, and show you where to find this information on our website. We begin at Kretus.com. Under the Products drop-down, you will find Urethane Polymer Concrete and Urethane Polymer Concrete UV, which is our ultraviolet stable line. Selecting Urethane Polymer Concrete, you'll be taken to the homepage for UPC. At the top of the page is a link to this video on our YouTube channel. Below that are links to the product guide, technical data sheets in English and Spanish, the color chart, and general overview. A modular map. A list of links for additional documentation, including project planning and safety data sheets, a visual list of advantages, and a smaller image of the color chart. Urethane Polymer Concrete is a low-odor, 100% solids, 3-component system with mix-and-match versatility. It is designed to withstand hot and cold industrial pressure washing, high abrasion, extreme temperatures, and aggressive chemical and thermal attacks. There are Part A's, Part B's, and Part C's. It is important to note that our UPC UV does have a fourth component. You can find more information for UPC UV in our video on the Kretus YouTube channel. This video will focus on UPC, starting with the product guide. On page 1 of the product guide, you will find a description of UPC system applications, some advantages, limitations, and the finish. It can be applied in systems as a primer, in cold storage down to -40 degrees Fahrenheit, and it provides seamless moisture mitigation in slurry, mortar, and decorative coats. It is good for industrial, commercial, and residential projects. Some advantages to UPC are high traffic tolerance, adhesion to multiple substances, low shine, waterproofing, moisture vapor, chemical, impact, and scratch resistance. Some of the limitations are ambering in top coats and outgassing in prime coats. UPC's baseline finish is matte. However, sand aggregates and anti-slip additives can affect texture. Color and decorative finishes are also available. Page 2 contains the UPC product data charts for Part A's, Part B's, and Part C's, helping you with the process of choosing the right UPC components. Before we go any further, we need to discuss the different types of UPCs, their abbreviations, and their application uses. For products available in buckets, these abbreviations are located in the product name on the identifier label. Starting with RC. RC stands for roll coat. VC stands for vertical coat. For products available in bags, the names are printed and selected on the front. SL is self-leveler. MF is medium fill self-leveler. TT means tight trowel. And WC is wall cove. The combinations are found on all 3 component buckets. However, on the Part B bucket, there will also be either an EZ, AP, or FC. To make this easier, we are going to go back and show you the modular map we've created to illustrate this process. First, you choose your Part C. This is determined by the specific project and type of application. Once you know that, you find the Part B with those corresponding letters. That Part B will have one of 3 speeds indicated by EZ, AP, or FC. You choose the speed by considering the temperature and humidity, job timeline, and the applicator's skill level. Finally, you choose your Part A, which will again correspond with Part C and B. Now that hopefully you can visualize it, we'll go back and look at page 2 of the product guide. Chart 1 is a list of our Part C's. It has columns for application and mix ratio, moisture vapor emission rate, and relative humidity. It is important to note that each application has a different mix ratio, and the spread rate per kit changes for each application thickness. It is also important to note that a 1 mil coating is equal to 1/1000th of an inch. RC has a 5 to 30 mil thickness, and the mix ratio is 6 pounds of A, 6 pounds of B, and 6 pounds of C. TT can be from 1/4 inch to 4 inches thick, but is also 6 pounds of A and 6 pounds of B, but far more Part C at 42 pounds. SL is 1/8 to 1/4 inch. and is 8 pounds of A, 8 pounds of B, and 25 pounds of C. MF at 1/8 to 1/4 inch is also 8 pounds of A and 8 pounds of B, but instead 40 pounds of C. WC can be from 1 inch to 10 inches high and is 3 pounds of A, 3 pounds of B, and 30 pounds of C. And VC at 3 to 8 mils is also 3 pounds of A, 3 pounds of B, but only 3.5 pounds of C. Make sure to pay close attention to the mix ratio. After you have chosen your Part C, you'll then find the corresponding product in Chart 2. Chart 2 is our Part B hardeners. There are 3 different speeds for UPC Part B hardeners: EZ, AP, and FC. They are primarily chosen based on the temperature and humidity. Make sure you take accurate measurements of both before and during the time of application. You also look at the deadline or schedule that the contractor may have to install and the applicator's skill level. The third is the size and type of application. Here you might also factor in the price point. Larger jobs can require slightly longer bucket and working times. This will be a factor in determining the speed of the hardener you choose. Across the top of the chart are description, skill level, recommended application temperature, and times for working, recoat, return to service, and full cure. Starting with EZs. EZs are our easiest to apply. They have a long working time and are for beginner installers and applicators at high temperatures and humidity. EZ can be used almost year-round in the south and southwest and everywhere that gets hot weather in the summer months. It is also great for large-scale projects. AP is our all-purpose hardener. With average working and cure times, it is for experienced installers and anyone applying in low to mid temperatures. It can be used almost anywhere most of the year. Do not use AP in cold climates during winter months. FC is our fast cure. It has shorter working and cure times and is for experienced and expert installers and anyone applying at low to mid temperatures and low humidity. It can be used in colder and mild climates throughout the winter months and by expert installers everywhere when recoating and return to service times are a factor. Chart 3 is our Part A's. Choose the Part A with the same 2-letter combination as Part C. For example, if you choose UPC RC Part C, select UPC RC TT Part A. Taking a closer look at the Part C's. RC roll coat is installed at 5 to 30 mils with a squeegee and a 3/8 inch non-shed nap roller. Make sure to use the right squeegee for your desired thickness. A loop roller can be used for applications from 25 to 30 mils. SL, our self-leveler, and MF, our medium fill self-leveler, are installed at 1/8 to 1/4 inch. A 1/2 inch V-notch squeegee and a loop or spiked roller should be used for 1/8 inch applications. Only a gauge rake and spiked roller should be used for 1/8 to 1/4 inch thicknesses. TT is our tight trowel and can be installed from 1/4 up to 4 inches thick. It is spread and smoothed by hand with a trowel. VC is rolled vertically onto walls from 3 to 8 mils thick with a 3/8 inch non-shed nap roller. WC or wall cove can be installed from 1 inch up to 10 inches with a 1 inch radius cove trowel. Moving on to the UPC colorant. At the top of the page are labeled color cards with all of the color options we offer for UPC. Notice that UPC is not available in clear. Its unpigmented color is shown here in the bottom corner. They are available in 4-ounce color packs and 1-gallon buckets. UPC is not available in pre-pigmented buckets unless specially ordered through your distributor. At the bottom of the page, we have instructions for mixing application. The steps for mixing a standard UPC kit with pigment are as follows. In a 5-gallon bucket, mix Part A and color pack for 15 seconds. Continue to mix and slowly add Part B. Mix for 30 seconds. Continue to mix and slowly add Part C. Mix for 2 minutes. There are also tips for ensuring uniform color. For example, on the left is a 4-ounce UPC color pack. It will be added to 1 bucket of UPC Part A to pigment each of our standard UPC kits. On the right is a 1-gallon bucket of UPC colorant. Use the same mix ratio, 4 ounces in each Part A of the standard UPC kit. Check batch numbers on product labels. Products that have the same batch number are from the same mixture, or batch. It is best to use products with matching batch numbers because gloss or color can vary from batch to batch, and the difference may not be visible until the product hardens. Next, we look at the general overview. The general overview will explain how to install the different types of urethane polymer concrete. Page 1 of the general overview contains the mixing guide and mixing instructions for UPCs, as well as information on surface preparation, safety, and cleanup. It is important to note that the general mixing instructions for UPC RC are different than the mixing instructions for the rest of our UPCs. As we've learned before, the standard mixing order for UPC is Part A, Part B, and Part C. However, UPC RC mixes Part A and Part C first, and then we add our Part B. Colorant is added to Part A at the beginning of the process. Every other additive like accelerant, anti-slip, quartz, or sand will be added last after the Part C. Looking at the applications on page 2, 3, and 4. Across the top of the chart we have application type, products required, standard kit mix ratio, methods and tools used, and coverage rate. The chart contains information for all UPC applications including crack and joint repair, body or base coats with MF, SL, or TT, base and micro topping coats with RC, prime and maintenance coats with RC, as well as RC cap or top coats over broadcast with or without anti-slip texture. Finally, vertical coat and wall cove, body and prime coats. The chart at the top of page 4 is the aggregates and additives, their use, coverage rate, and mix ratio. Additives such as accelerant, colorant, and anti-slip. Aggregates such as quartz, industrial sand, and vinyl chips. Next, we take a look at the technical data sheets, or TDSs. There is a technical data sheet for each of the UPC 3-part combinations. Selecting UPC RC AP, we are taken to the 5-page technical data sheet for this product. On page 1, we have a description of UPC RC AP. Some advantages like antibacterial, low odor, low maintenance, and thermal shock resistance. Suggested uses and application areas, such as prime coats and decorative systems in industrial, healthcare, commercial, governmental, institutional, and residential projects. Compatible Kretus systems, finish and color, which is matte opaque, with or without color. At the bottom of page 1 and the top of page 2 are some precautions and limitations. For example, ideal conditions, such as decreasing temperatures and not installing under direct sunlight or if rain is in the forecast. The rest of the page has the components for standard and bulk kits. Info on safety, testing, and warranty. For the warranty to be upheld, pre- and post-job checklists must be completed. Average application time based on temperature and humidity. For example, a standard kit applied at 70 degrees Fahrenheit and 50% relative humidity has a working time of 20 minutes from mixing to cross-rolling. Return to service time of 16 hours and a full cure at 5 days. The bottom of page 2 describes surface preparation. 9 times out of 10 a coating fails, it is because of bad prep. Make sure you prepare the concrete properly before any application. At the top of page 3 we have mixing and application information. Measurements for additives such as colorant, accelerant, and anti-slip. Kretus polyaccelerant is used in UPC. When added, the working time drops by 5 minutes and return to service time by 1 hour. At the bottom of page 3 we have coverage rates per standard kit. Notice as the thickness increases, the coverage rate decreases. At the top of page 4 is a list of the UPC properties when fully cured, like abrasion resistance, flame spread, and tensile strength. The bottom of page 4 and top of page 5 has a list of chemicals the coating may encounter and a number indicating how well it will hold up. If your coating will be in contact with a chemical that is not on this list, consult your Kretus technical representative. Finally, we have the safety data sheets, or SDSs. For UPC, there is an SDS for each Part A, Part B, and Part C, the polyaccelerant and the UPC colorant. Selecting our Part Bs, we are taken to the 9-page safety data sheet. It is broken down into 16 sections. Section 2 identifies the hazards. Sections 4 and 5 are first aid and firefighting measures. 7 is handling and storage, and 13 is disposal considerations. Make sure to review the safety data sheet for each Kretus product you purchase. A quick overview of what we learned about UPC. At its base, it is a 3-component product, with Part C being determined by the type of project and application needs. UPC is great for protecting concrete that endures a lot of chemical, moisture, and impact attack. Kretus UPC can be used as a single-coat moisture vapor barrier or as a part of most Kretus coating systems. Thank you for your interest in Kretus urethane polymer concrete and all of our thoughtfully designed coatings.